What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. And oh, yeah, we are bringing you fantasy news today. We're here with the Tuesday crew, at least 2/3 of us. The other one will be here shortly. But I'm here with my man Hector from Breaking Down the Tape. What is going on, bro?
What's happening? Let's get this going. Week 6 was amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was wild. A little up and down. A little up and down for me, not going to lie. JC Money Design, what up, fam? It's going down, bro. Corey in the building. Shout out to Corey. What up, bro? Everybody who's hopping in and watching, smash that like button. Let's get it. All right. So first piece of news, we're just going to start with the Thursday game because we got a grip of news from the Thursday game, and also give Bogey a chance to get in here as well. So how about we start with the Browns? Let's start with some of the crazy news. We already knew that Nick Chubb was probably like 50-50, to play. He's officially out for Thursday now. So Dearness Johnson, he's the official starter. What do you think about the backfield? And you messing with Dearness this week at all?
That shit is hurting me because in one league I have Chubb, and now I'm hurting for a back because I have James Robinson on a bye. So now I got to run out and I got to try to find a back. So that one league hurts me. And then in my other two leagues, I have Hunt, and now he's out as well. So
Hunt's on IR, just for everybody who doesn't know, he's officially on IR.
For 3 weeks, and I looked it up with the Johnson, and they also have Felton.
That's the second guy. That's more so Dearness Johnson's kind of like Nick Chubb, and then like Nick Chubb, and then Felton is kind of like Kareem Hunt.
So that's why this week I actually put in the waiver claim, and I went for Felton. I want the guy that gets a PP, especially in a PPR league. Like if he's gonna help the passing game, especially with Baker being with his fucked up torn labrum, his labrum. I'm going with the guy where he could also either give it to him to take the yardage or dink and dunk to him.
Yep, and yeah, Baker. So his status is kind of up in the air for Thursday. I mean, obviously he wants to play. I mean, that's what he's hopeful that he's going to play, but they don't know 100% yet if he's going to play or not. They do know that his injury, it's not season ending. It's not going to require surgery like anytime soon, but they said everything is literally about pain management, and his shoulder is all jacked up. His labrum just messed up. Every hit that he takes just makes it worse. They're actually waiting for a second opinion from, I don't know, some crazy doctor, and they're getting the MRIs done today. So hopefully on tomorrow's news show, we'll know a little bit more about Baker's status for this game and the season.
Hell yeah. I've been focusing on Baker so hard because in one of my leagues, he's actually, and I'm in a 2 QB league, and he's like my number 1 QB. I have Teddy Bridge on as my second. And I've been doing very well with both of them actually. But Baker, I'm keeping my eye on him because of that labrum. He landed bad on it this last game. Definitely once their season is over, however far they go, he's having surgery. There's no question about it.
100%.
So now it's just, I mean, from what I've heard, he's trying to play this week. But if you have Baker, definitely start hitting that waiver wire, or if you don't have a second QB or a third QB, whatever kind of league you play in, and start looking for a scapegoat.
Yeah, you might not have a choice. I mean, if it wasn't a Thursday game, I'm sure things would be a lot easier, to figure out for the week for him. But yeah, he's already
he's got like 3 days.
Yeah, they're playing on Thursday. Got to get it in. And let's see. So in response to Kareem Hunt going on IR, they signed John Kelly to the active roster. So now, I mean, it's Kelly, Johnson, and Felton. And also on IR, I don't know if you guys saw the linebacker Joker. He's on IR. He was actually starting to pick up his play, too. He's got that really, really long name. It's the guy from Notre Dame. But yeah, Joker is what he goes by.
I don't think that first of all, that one back, whatever it doesn't matter. He ain't playing. He ain't playing.
No, not on a Thursday.
He ain't playing. So it don't matter about him. I didn't notice about the other that linebacker. That Cleveland for some reason is starting to get. I'm a little worried about them as a team. Like they're getting a lot of injuries to some key players, And they had a lot of expectations this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that's hurting them right now. I mean, all these injuries, and another injury is OBJ. I mean, we already know that he stays hurt. And so they say he has a chance to play on Thursday. And they said they're not sure how much he's going to practice today. I don't even know if he got in practice at all. So anyone who's actually, I know there's people out there rostering OBJ still. I would just try to look elsewhere either way. I mean, I know it's a big bye week, but he's someone who I think I'd rather pick up a free agent and play over him, especially this week versus the Broncos.
I feel so bad for OBJ. He went from such a formidable force in the league and fantasy to absolutely nothing. Nothing. He should have stood on the Giants with D. Jones, and he probably would have still been at least something. But over here, you're just injury prone. You can't stay on the field, or you're bitching and moaning, or whatever. Now you got this shoulder injury. You know what? I'm not even complaining because not this current fantasy week, but last week my buddy put OBJ against me and he put up 0. And I was like, well, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. And I heard a little rumor. What if OBJ goes to Green Bay?
That would be crazy. I mean, it would need to be, for us to even care, it would need to be something like that. Him going there, him going to Kansas City, some type of like contender where they really, really need a number 2. Other than that, I don't even think we would care if he gets traded or not because he's always so hurt. He's just never out on the field anyways. And Zeb, what up, guys? Cam Newton to the Seahawks. So I think they said that they talked to him for a second. They wouldn't even elaborate what they went into. So no, I doubt Cam Newton would be going to the Seahawks.
I think with the Seahawks, I think Geno Smith, I mean, for the first time in starting in almost 4 years, he did well until it came down to trying to win it. And he fucked up and didn't secure the ball. I don't see having to rush in to bring Cam in. Especially with Wilson. Wilson's not indefinitely out. He's coming back.
Yeah. I mean, he went on IR. He's out till, at least till week 9 or 10 or something like that. But outside of that, I don't think Cam brings too much value to the table for this team because their line sucks. They don't really have tight ends. That's who that's who he throws to is the tight ends. And yeah, this team's not built for a guy like Cam. So I don't even think it's
there's no team really built for Cam anymore. Cam at
Patriots.
this point,
Patriots were the best team built for him.
No, Patriots, he was a patch. I knew it from the get-go. He was just a patch fill-in. He does not. First of all, he fucked up his shoulder. He could barely throw like he used to, which was barely enough before. All he can do is run the ball, but he took too many hits where now he's fragile as fuck. What are you going to do with him? Your best bet, bro, is to become a QB coach, a fucking offensive coordinator. Get the fuck off the field already. Ain't nobody want your bum ass. I didn't like you coming out of Auburn. I didn't like you in the NFL. You had a fluke MVP season, a fluke run to the Super Bowl. You're trash, bro. You were a running quarterback. Strictly running because your arm is garbage.
All right. He is here. The other third of the show. He's here with the whole nation right now. My man Bogard Scott free.
Be sad.
Yeah. We with the nation. Hey, real quick. Tim Tebow worked with Josh McDaniels, so I figured Cam Newton would. But, he can't throw the ball anymore. And, but he did have remarkable numbers as a rushing QB, even in the twilight of his career and his little stint with New England, right? And then also, real quick, I want to say this organization, the Browns, they're smart. That's why they shut down Chubb for the week. Dearness Johnson's going to get 15 touches. He might not be a factor in the second half of the game if they're playing from behind, But if it's Baker, I think they're in good. They're still straight. If there is no Baker, it's Case Keenum, aka the Queso. He's on the case. It's a revenge game. Let's go.
Wait, Case Keenum is the backup to Baker? Holy shit. I did not look at that squad. I was like, Case Keenum is the backup?
He's a legit backup.
That motherfucker's still alive? He's like 98 years old,
bro. He'll mess around and take somebody to the title game as the backup. Like
chill. You're trying to call him Fitzmagic.
Oh man. So what do you what do you think? You're saying if it is Case Keenum, you'd still fire up Dearness Johnson?
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna
and you know what too? Case Keenum, he can go down the field. We're not look at remember Terry McLaurin, his rookie year? We weren't tripping unless it wasn't Case Keenum, because Case Keenum will get it to his playmakers. You know what I mean? Stephon Diggs, he was a thing for the first time in his career when it was Case Keenum. You know what I mean? Even Case Keenum made Cortland Sutton the thing his rookie year before he tore his ACL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're not afraid on a short week against Denver, who is like Denver's like even kill. You know what I mean? Like they have a phenomenal defense. They don't really have a super phenomenal offense, but you know they also have a great kicking game, so they can beat you in lower scoring games. The Browns are built the same way, but they could also shoot it out. So if it's Case Keenum and they start racking the points up, Dearness Johnson and guys like that are going to get a lot of work, like their normal game plan. It's all game script dependent.
I would think they'll split back it and give Johnson and Felton almost an even amount and see who takes the better reps and start giving them the more reps at that point. But especially if they put Case and Keenum in, you kind of want a guy like Felton you can throw in there where he's that PPR guy.
He's a smart QB. He'll know to check it down. You know what I mean? He's going to lean on the tight end. He'll lean on the running back out of the backfield, and that would be Felton. So if you feel strong about this being a more negative game script, Felton should be in line for a lot of work here. You know what I mean? I actually think they could beat with Case Keenum. They could beat. And no Chubb, I think they could beat the Broncos.
Broncos aren't looking too hot right now. I mean,
and putting up numbers in garbage time the last couple games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Fuck you, Noah Fant. I lose by 6 points because you're goddamn garbage time touchdown. Back up.
I almost lost last night, but AJ Brown actually showed up.
Oh yeah. For everyone who was nervous about him, we told you. Just start him. Unless you got a really, really good option, why aren't you going to play him?
Oh, yeah. I'll start him even if he gives me a donut.
Hey, I swear to God, I'd be like reverse jinxing like shit into production. Because like we spend all weekend telling people to start AJ Brown. Then he's out there playing decoy like the first half. And I text Hustle, I'm like, damn, they got AJ Brown playing decoy. And it's like, did he hear me say that? Because they come out the second half. I don't know if they gave him an IV with fluids or something, bro, but he came out, he's like, give me all the targets. You know what I mean? And
I was shitting my pants.
They did make the switch. They made the switch and took, because they were like, Tre'Davious White can handle A.J. Brown easily. They're like, all right, we'll put Levi Wallace on him. And then they didn't even make the switch. He caught like 4 balls on Levi Wallace, and it was like, then they made the switch back. You know what I mean?
I was shitting my pants. I was literally losing my fantasy game by 8 points.
Oh.
And all I had left was AJ Brown. Like I already knew his final score. He played everyone. I needed 9 points. And I prayed and prayed. And when I saw halftime a fucking donut, I was shitting my pants.
Hey, you got it though.
Yeah. And it helped me because I fucking sweeped my all 3 leagues this week.
Let's go. That's what we like to hear over here at the Hustlers channel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And for the Broncos on the other side of things, so Teddy B, they said he was able to partake in the walkthrough and that he believes that Teddy B is going to play on Thursday despite that foot injury that's got him hobbling a little bit. So
I love this. I'm picking up the Browns defense. We're gonna destroy a statuesque man.
You know what? I won't go against that because you know what? A lot of the injuries that's been going on with the Browns have been offensively. Their defense is fine.
Yeah, I mean their pass rush is phenomenal. You know what I mean? I don't think their corners are too great. I actually think it's kind of a mismatch with Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. But if they can get pressure up front like they do, you know what I mean? You don't need to worry about your cornerbacks not being, because these are like bigger receivers versus like speedier, smaller guys. You know what I mean? Like that's not. Yeah, it's a mismatch.
We got a question in from Zeb here. Here's a good one. Since you just said you're picking up the Browns D, he said the Browns D or the Cards D. Cardinals going up against the Texans.
Give me the Cards D, man. They're playing against the Judge Davis Mills Lanes. And listen, man, he had one good game and that's it. But he's back. He's still the Judge. Don't get it wrong.
He ain't getting it all no more.
Cards. Give me the Cards all the way. You got JJ Watt. You got fucking Jones on the other side. You got they're just stacked all across. They're stacked all across, and they fly to the ball.
Oh yeah. And Facebook user, does Chubb play this week? Nope. We talked about it a little earlier today. He is out for this week. So it's Dearness Johnson who's the starter, and then you got Demetric Felton. That's the guy who's kind of like Kareem Hunt, getting the pass work, stuff like that. And then they signed John Kelly, who's not going to be anything, but that's pretty much the only three running backs.
Hunt is also out. Hunt is also out at least 3 weeks.
Yep, Hunt is on IR.
I remember I wanted John Kelly to be a thing because, like, everyone was like, oh, when Todd Gurley gets hurt and he's done. And then, like, I was like, it'll be John Kelly. And then they go and they draft fucking Darrell Henderson.
You know what blows my mind, Bogey? Todd Gurley is still a free agent.
What are you talking about?
Well, it doesn't blow my mind. The motherfucker was a bust from the get-go. He had one great season, injury-prone. He was a bust. But it's crazy that all these motherfuckers, like right now, the Ravens, they're dying for backs. You wouldn't be like, let's give Todd Gurley a chance.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Here's what I think. Because sometimes, or not even sometimes, most of the time, these players' agents aren't going to allow them to go play for some veteran minimum. You'd be like, listen, man, you're Todd Gurley, man. I'm going to get you a 2-year deal, $4 million guaranteed. And then they'll be like, nope, we don't want that. And then, you know what I mean? Don't worry, Todd. I'm on the phone with Baltimore. Maybe. And he's just like, listen, man, because,
I like your white guy agent voice.
Yeah. Look here, Todd. Can I call you Todd?
Can I call you Todd? Or can I call you Gurley?
Listen, Mr.
Man, and Quincy Jones is one of my favorite sayings. You can't shine doo-doo, baby. And like his knees are all jacked up. He is just, man, he's a big poop emoji right now. That is all that we can say for him. He's garbage right now.
Remember when Andrew Luck went to, because he's actually originally from Europe. So he went to Europe and to go get like stem cell joints put in. Remember that? And like even that, he was like, man, I can't come back. Like there's just some things you can't come back from. Whatever, I think it was his calf injury or whatever. You know what I mean? Just it kept nagging him in the shoulder, all that. And then, here's Todd Gurley. He got arthritic knees on top of, and his bone on bone. You know what I mean? Like you can't go cartilage.
Literally after like the season 1, they were like, he has no cartilage in his fucking knees.
Yeah. And then like, you want to know why the Rams were okay with getting rid of Todd Gurley and fronting the bill? Because they remember they still owed him like $30 million or something crazy like that. They let him go and said, we'll pay for it. Because when CJ Anderson gets picked up off the street and they go into a playoff game against Dallas and they just run CJ Anderson all over them, Sean McVay's like, listen, it's me and my system, not the running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, peace out, bone on bones, Gurley. And like, and here's Todd. Then he calls his agent, hey man, listen, I know we got bone on bone, but listen, Todd, we're gonna get this right. We're going home. We're going to Georgia, and they go.
Call him John Bones Jones Gurley.
Then he goes to the Falcons, and what's crazy is it's kind of fugazi. He had 8 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And then
didn't three of them like come against the Cowboys when they were like super garbage or something like that?
I can't remember. I know he had one in that game though.
It was 2 or 3. 2 or 3 came in that one game alone.
He even had a game against the Vikings, I think, if I remember correctly, last year, where he there was too much time on the clock, so they didn't want him to run it in. And then like he got down there, and he's like, and then like he just jumps in the end zone. Like they weren't even trying to hit him. You know what I mean? They're like, get in there so they can get the ball back. And then they got the ball back and won the game. and listen, and you know
he didn't want to fall on his knees, man. They're bad enough already.
That's true, huh? And, you know, his agent was probably like, just score as many touchdowns, Todd. And
we need those touchdowns, Todd.
You know, touchdowns equals contracts, man.
He's like, dude, my knees hurt. No, fuck that. Get in the end zone.
He's like, Todd, I got this guy. Bear with me now. You ready for this? Cybernetic knees.
He's like, Coach, I got so much rug burn trying to get the starting job that I got no more part of the gym.
You're fired, Lyle. I just imagine his name is Lyle.
Shout out to the Pigskin Post. He said it was the Lions.
The Lions are the one. See, there you go. And check us out. The Lions, you know, the perfect segue. Why no one likes Todd Gurley right now? Because not even the Lions wanted him. The Lions brought him in for a workout, and they're like, "Nah, we're good."
I wonder if they even like have him run or anything. It's probably just like doing like work, like exercises to like see what his knees can do. Like,
do high knees. Give me 10 high knees, and if they're not high enough, you're gone.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Matt, new YouTube member, a new member of the 420 crew on YouTube. Check out those emojis that you can throw in, Matt. Click the emoji so you can see it.
Hey, check this out.
We're sparking it up.
Hey, Dan Campbell was like, "Listen, we're in the biting kneecaps off here. You don't even got any. You're out of here."
Man, so ridiculous. All right, let me see here. Someone asked really quick about they said
something about Julio Jones.
Yep, and that's what I was gonna say. So for Vrabel on Jones, they pretty much said they're taking it day to day right now. Doesn't sound like he might be a little bit more than a 50-50 shot, but he just keeps getting banged up. Like every time he was falling out there, getting tackled, like you could just see he's getting up slow. Like he's banged up right now.
Hey, listen, I love Julio Jones in reality. In fantasy, I hate that guy, bro. Like, that's why I don't never have no Julio Jones, bro. Even last year, I drafted him in a super flex league. I traded him as quick as possible. And I actually traded him when he was hurt because I was like, someone's going to buy him because he's Julio. You know what I mean? And then I just said, shame on me, never again. Even when he got traded, I said, this will be more better for Derrick Henry in fantasy than it would be for Julio. Like I just don't buy in. I don't buy into the amount of passing volume to begin with to support or sustain 2 wide receivers. You know what I mean?
That's the shit that kills me right now. Like right now, like Bogey just said, you can draft Julio Jones injured and get top value for him because it's Julio Jones.
Maybe not top value.
I would have bailed out on that motherfucker 2 years ago. 2 years, because after 2 years ago, he stopped putting up those fantasy points. He gets hurt. Like you said, he gets hit. He's getting up. Like fuck, that shit hurt. That shit hurt. Like he's a great wide receiver. He's going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He did great in fantasy for the time that he did great in fantasy, but now. He's fucking done. I'm sorry. It hurts. That hurts to say, but the man can't stay on the field, and they don't even give him the ball.
Like he was.
You said the pass. Hold on, real quick. You said the pass volume wasn't there. I mean, he threw 29 times, only completed 18 of them. I don't know if that was on him or the receivers or what the situation was.
No, I'm surprised by that. I wasn't aware. I mean, I guess you could say they were playing from behind most of the game, but like, I mean, that's what four passes more than his average. So because he is like a 25 pass attempt mug. You know what I mean? So, I mean, either way, I'm just not the Julio guy. I think he exists to me now just to open it up for Derrick Henry. And that's without Julio, they got Julio and they don't even got him. You know what I mean? How annoyed are you if you're Vrabel?
He's an empty space. He's an empty space.
We traded for this fool. Gave up a second round.
If he keeps opening up the door for Henry, though, it's worth every penny. I mean, Henry got 20 carries, 143 yards.
It's worth every penny for the Tennessee Titans. It's not worth every penny.
I mean, that's what I mean.
Tennessee guy that tries to draft Julio Jones thinking Julio Jones and A.J. Brown's going to fucking tear it up.
Here's something. Not a lot of players can blow up in one team and go to another team, and then you're chasing. It's just like anybody who was on Todd Gurley in Atlanta last year. You're like, oh man, Todd Gurley's the beast, dog. Yeah, with Sean McVay, and when he was healthy.
Okay? So like, just because Bogey just said it, Atlanta. Go back to Atlanta with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley last year. Just last year. Matt Ryan, who had the ultimate connection with Julio Jones, completely went opposite and just Calvin Ridley everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what's crazy about what's going on with Atlanta is like both of these teams. I understand what Tennessee did. I understand why they trade for Julio. You want to win now. You have a small window. You have your quarterback paid. You paid your running back. You know what I'm saying? You want to win now. Bringing in Julio means you want to win now. What's crazy with Atlanta is not drafting a future QB. It tells me that they're trying to win now, but then they go and trade away Julio. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Well, what Atlanta's doing as a whole right now.
Yeah, well, because they already made their bed. They got to sleep in it. They can't get rid of Matt Ryan for at least 2 years. They owe him so much money. It's like not even worth it.
It's so crazy because forever I'm going to remind all the Falcon fans, like, you could have had, X, Y, and Z, Fields, Mac Jones, even, you know what I mean? Just they had guys there. And
they paid Matt Ryan at the time where he was doing great. It's his contract that is coming down to the end. They can't get rid of him because no one wants him. They pay him too much. He has to start. He's not playing horrible because the team is helping him be that shitty. Because Matt Ryan's still going out there with a great completion percentage, throwing high yardage, and trying to put him in the potential to win. It's the rest of the team as well. But at this point in his career, we all know that Matt Ryan maybe got I'll be friendly and say 2 more years.
I said, listen, man, you know what's so stupid too? They should have drafted a quarterback so for that year or maybe even 2, this kid can learn from Matt Ryan, who is one of the more underrated QBs. Like
maybe next year, maybe this draft.
Shout out to everyone who's in the chat right now. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're on Facebook right now, make sure you hop over to YouTube. We're broadcasting on my channel, the Fantasy Football Hustler. We're also broadcasting on Bogard's channel, the GMM Network. So go sub up, go hit the like button. And this is funny. JC Money Design, he started the live stream on Sunday, and he said that Jason Voorhees was in the chat. He's back in the chat right now, and he said Ryan Tannehill is on my shit list.
Oh, man, bro. Listen, that's the thing about Jason Voorhees, too. You don't want to be on his shit list. Bro, you can run as fast as you can, and when you look back, he's just walking slowly right behind you.
How that motherfucker get there? How that man get on the roof?
I'm saying though, right? You know what's crazy? Michael Myers makes sense because Michael Myers will steal a whole ass car.
Nah, fuck Michael Myers. Fuck Michael Myers.
He'll steal a car and encase the joint. See, Jason, he just like, it don't matter if you're on a plane, bro. You get off the plane, he's right there behind you, bro. Like, how did he get there? And he not even running, bro.
I like that question.
And news is kind of slow today, so we'll take some waiver wire questions in. We'll still get to some news. We're going to be here for about 20 more minutes or so. But shout out to Corey. What up, bro? Said, need a wide receiver 2 this week, and here are my best options this week on the wire. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Ayuk, Van Jefferson, T.Y. Hilton, Zach Pascal, and Quez Watkins.
I'm going T.Y. and then I'm going St. Brown.
Well, T.Y.'s probably not going to play, and if he does, he's hurt. So I'm not even going to recommend that he even consider T.Y. Hilton.
I don't think T.Y. is going to get picked up on waivers because of all the news that's going on right now. So you got to just be up on the practice reports. And if he practices tomorrow or, Thursday, he might not even practice tomorrow. They might just give him the day off, and then Thursday and Friday are the important practices for him.
I'm not going to bank on a guy who's only going to play half the snaps. Zach Pascal is interesting if there is no T.Y. Hilton for sure, because then he's immediately the number 2 guy. And it's not like they're really throwing to the tight ends over there. They'll give Mo Alley Cox like 2 or 3 targets. You know what I mean?
But they're always in the red zone from Mo Alley. That's what sucks. He's Mo Alley big Cox when he's getting catches like that.
Right? And like this dude, Zach Pascal, actually plays majority of snaps, etc. Right? But Ayuk, man, I'm the guy that's still gonna say I know I'm wearing the hat, but Ayuk, man, that's where I would go.
I like St. Brown. I mean, I know I said T.Y.
I don't like him.
St. Brown. I picked up St. Brown last week, and he still threw up a decent, what was it in my fantasy? I think it was like 11.5 points.
Not bad. I mean, he's a PPR guy. He's getting, he's getting,
especially on that team, he's getting the reps.
But this game's gonna be fun. It's a double revenge game. It's Jared Goff versus the Rams, and it's Matt Stafford versus the Lions. So, and if you think it's going to be some type of shootout, then maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown is your guy here. He's getting 6 to 8 targets on average. You know what I mean?
I guess I just don't think it's going to be too much of a shootout.
Me neither. I'm going Ayuk because that Colts secondary is mad. It's mad suspect.
Wasn't Ayuk hurt? Or is he back now?
He was hurt and he was in the doghouse because he broke curfew before week 1 in Detroit. Him and Trey Sermon went out and partying or something like that. So but listen, after the bye week, they're coming off the bye week, coming off a loss. I don't know if it's going to be Jimmy. I don't know if it's going to be Lance, but I'm just saying, I think the game script will be negative.
I had a little bit of especially within the first 2 or 3 weeks, I had this feeling that Jefferson, Vance, right? Vance?
Van.
He would break out and be something for the Rams, and he just hasn't.
Well, he's getting, what's crazy is he's sustained a steady target market share for himself. I think he's getting 3 or 4 targets a game.
So if he breaks them out, and then potentially get him more targets, I see it.
It's games.
I thought about picking him up earlier in the year, and then he just started to disappoint me.
The games when he's going to do good are going to be games when they go up against a team that have 2 really good cornerbacks. Yep. That's really the only way, because then they're going to run more 3 wide receiver sets, get him involved.
Week
that's
1,
really it. I'm going. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying week 1 he had a nice little blow up game. And it was because your coverage was tight on the outsides for the Chargers. I mean, for the Chicago Bears. So he was just. And here's another thing: Matt Stafford is going to take a deep shot here and there, and it's always to Jefferson or to Jackson. So
who you got, Hustler?
I'm going. It's either going to be Ayuk or it's going to be Quez Watkins. So
Quez is playing. He's playing the Raiders, bro, and Quez. He has sustained a steady target market share of his own. Here's what I noticed in this past game. Devonta Smith, he's getting more double teams. He's just getting tougher coverage out there. And he was getting more targets, at least over the last 3 games, I would say. What's his name? Smith has more targets than Quez. But at least in this last game, Quez had more targets. And going up against the Raiders, I think if there's anybody that they double, it's going to be Smith. And Quez, he's just been getting loose, and he's fast. They're going to get the ball in his hands more. He's the only man in the entire world named Quez.
Seriously.
All right, before we get to a couple other questions, let's knock out a little bit more of this news. How about some other big news for the Bills? Dawson Knox broke a bone in his hand on the Monday game. and his timeline is to be determined as of right now. They got the bye this week, so either way, he was out, this week. But
so he broke a bone in his what now?
They broke a bone in his hand.
Okay. What's
I
crazy?
mean, I'm not too worried because I had him on my league, but he's a backup.
They said he's not expected to miss that much time, especially with the bye. That was the official quote.
Like, the one thing that sucks though is like, is this going to affect his snap count? Is this going to affect him in the blocking game? Because like he plays a tremendous amount of the snaps. I know I'm not incorrect about that because even if he's not running routes, he's out there blocking, so he almost doesn't leave the field. You know what I mean,
he's been a big part for Josh Allen right now. Like, what?
Stupid Emmanuel Sanders if he doesn't.
Like who's the backup? Who's the next tight end in place?
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Don't fucking play him, whoever it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like Knox was a formidable. Like Josh Allen had a connection with this guy. They were having a good Knox.
Knox in week 5 played 96% of the snaps.
See, there it is. He never leaves the field because if he's not running around, he's blocking. You know what I mean? So that's what you want from your tight end. Get the opportunity. So I'm wondering if all of a sudden they cut down his snaps because of the injury and he's playing through it, but they're only putting him out there on maybe only when he's running routes. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Because it would suck if he's just out there blocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, with the broken hand, it doesn't seem smart to have him out there blocking.
Yeah. See, I listen, dial that up. He's only going to be out there running routes. Dawson Knox. You know what? How about this? Sell him. If anybody's worried about Dawson Knox, and you know what I mean, just sell him on a bye week to somebody that could do that.
And to someone who's not, there's probably not a lot of people paying attention to something like that. Hector, you didn't even know he had a broken hand.
Seriously, I've been paying attention to my league all day, and I'm like, wait, I didn't get that news.
I got Dawson Knox everywhere.
I got him in one league, but he's the backup to Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
What up, Devin? Smoking on that alien Tahoe right now. Oh, nice. Yeah. What are you smoking on?
I love Tahoe OGs.
Oh, yeah. Some of my favorite. That's for sure.
The alien Tahoe OG. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll fool with it.
Here we go. Robert, bro. Is it time to let Robbie Anderson go? Why would they give him $29 million not to produce or to not produce?
Man,
oh my God,
Bean is doing it right. He got the bag. Now he don't even need to work hard no more.
You can't even call him the string bean anymore. He's
he's a fucking the biggest bust of all. You know what's crazy is that in my league this week, I got an injury to my wide receivers. And I had Galladay. Galladay was out. I was a 3 wide receiver league. Galladay was out. I had no one else because everyone else was on a bye week or some shit. I run out. I pick up Anderson and I plug him in just for the shits. And he actually, for once, produced.
Well, yeah.
It was only 11 points because he got the touchdown, but he produced.
He got, one catch for a touchdown? You're like, hell yeah. We'll take that.
Well, he got 3 catches. He got 3 catches for a touchdown. His first catch went for negative yardage, but he gave me what I needed. After that, I dropped his ass.
You know what, bro? Because that's
time to sell high. If anybody in their right mind thinks he's probably going to come around, but if he's just taking up a roster spot, it's going to be so long, it's not even going to be worth it.
Like if I have Austin Eckler and Nick Chubb. So I had one guy ruled out, one guy on a bye. I will cut the F out of a Robbie Anderson for a Dearness Johnson or even just any flyer this week that I need to plug in play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even though I don't want to play Dearness Johnson, unless I'm hurting, there's places you're hurting in deeper leagues. You got no choice if you get a guy like him on the waiver wire. But I would say you still got to get him. Get him and trade him if you're not going to play him. If you got a league where it's like commissioner approval on the trades, I love that because then they just go through right away, same day.
Yep, because that's the only way it should be. Hey, listen, all y'all that play in vetoes, y'all are just scared to make trades. That's why you guys have vetoes there. I can't say
Unless it's obvious cheating, obvious collusion, is the right word.
If people can't tell it's obvious, don't play in those leagues. Those are bum leagues. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the collusion sometimes is, or at least to other people, to the other 11 people, or other 10 people who may not be in the trade, is that, oh man, first place team's getting a better, first place team is getting better. That shit's collusion.
You know what's funny? Or even that's their reasoning for vetoing. Oh, well, it's not you, bro. I don't want Kyler Murray to go to the number 1 seed. That's not a reason to veto. That's not collusion. That's just a person in number 1 improving himself. You know what I mean? And you're vetoing it because you don't want it. Oh, he's getting better. Not on my watch. Then they start making phone calls. Bro, you see what Bogard's trying to do, bro? Oh, I'm done. Vetoed it. You know what I mean? You can tell.
That's the collusion side of things, when you think about it.
What? That's fucking yes.
Should I drop Robert Tonyan, pick up Zach Ertz? I need a tight end for week 7. This is Wednesday. Yeah.
But if you have to play him, I don't know. I mean, I'm still weary. You think they get right? Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing the Texans.
Yeah.
They might warm them up with a red zone look or two. So
I mean, that's literally the worst team against the tight end right now. At least they're giving up the most points to the tight end.
And if you're only giving red zone looks, that's the perfect look.
I mean, there's people out here starting Mo Alley Cox, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's people out here starting Robert Tonyan still. I'm just gonna read off Tonyan.
Oh, he hit him with it. He said what he said.
Let's listen. Here's his stats. He's been so garbage except for that week 2 game. So week 1, 2 receptions, 8 yards. Week 3, 3 receptions, 52 yards and a touchdown. That was his only, formidable week.
Decent
week 3. Yeah, I mean, decent. I mean, he was close to 15 points. That's like a tight end stud on my list because there's not too many tight ends that touch 15 points. Week 3, 1 for 6. Week 4, 2 for 8. Week 5, 1 for 8. Week 6, 2 for 10. How much more of a sample size do we need than Robert Tonyan last year was an outlier year. Aaron Rodgers never throws to the tight ends. He never does.
I want everyone to know how amazing Robert Tonyan is. He's so fucking amazing that we're playing him because of what he did last year. You know what I mean?
He's so fucking amazing that we're still talking about him, right?
Oh yeah, and what's funny is that he's one of those he's clearly a flash in the pan guy, right? But here's what I want to point out is that's how I view Dawson Knox as being this year's Robert Tonyan.
I will say, if you put him on a different team and get him away from Aaron Rodgers, like Hustler said, he could be a better tight end than what he's showing right now.
I mean, you know what he got going for him? He's George Kittle's best friend, and George Kittle's dad trained him the same way.
I don't want to say that word.
He's the version of
he's the slower George Kittle.
Listen, he's special George. Is that what you want to say?
Hey, Georgie, don't kill the rabbits.
And listen, right? I'm gonna hug him and squeeze him. No, but Robert Tonyan, I mean, look at the system he's playing in. He's playing in Matt LaFleur's system, which is an exact ripoff of Shanahan's system. The only difference is little differences. Instead of, outside zone, we run more inside zone. You know what I mean? And then they have their move tight end, but they're just not using them like they did last year. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is just so good. He's like, I'm going to throw a touchdown to whoever I want.
Honestly, I know we're giving a lot of shit on Robert Tonyan right now, but we would also give a lot of shit to Zach Ertz if he was still on the Eagles. Because they weren't playing him. They didn't want him anymore. They thought he was washed up. But on the Cardinals, he's a third or fourth option. A very explosive and you got to watch out for this guy kind of option.
Yep,
I mean, D-Hop and Edmonds and Connor and you got all these weapons and Kirk, and then you just say, oh, Ertz is there, and you're like, oh shit, Ertz is there.
for a very savvy veteran like Zach Ertz, he's gonna get lost in the fold with all those weapons. All those weapons you just named, he's gonna get lost in the fold, and he'll catch a touchdown or two. I think what Zach Ertz brings to the team in reality is the fact that he's been to the big show. He's went to the Super Bowl. He's won the Super Bowl. I don't think there's any other veterans that are Super Bowl winners.
If you look in the red zone area, Hopkins is really the only one that stands out. So I think Ertz helps out in the red zone.
You got AJ Green. They targeted him.
AJ Green. Well, now that he's starting to get targeted, but Kirk and all the other guys, they're guys that are getting the catch and they're making the move.
You can't do this when you say he's getting targeted now. He's been averaging 6 targets a game from the rip. You know what I mean?
He wasn't doing anything with those 6 targets.
No.
That's like Emmanuel Sanders going over and playing with Josh Allen. Takes a couple games to get acclimated.
You can't just do these things. You can't just ballpark these things because he's actually doing work. AJ Green has been eating. You know what I mean?
He's been solid, especially in deeper leagues. Like maybe he's someone who's like a fringe flex player, but he's going to have his boom games. And we just saw one of them that was pretty dope. And
I mean, it's good. I in the start of the season, I was hoping that AJ Green would blow up and do something good. I thought he was going to fit great over there.
You know what's
maybe you guys are right. Those first couple games, it made me think differently.
You know
let's
what?
Let's knock out.
Go ahead.
Let's knock out some of these questions before we get out of here. So, yes, Prince J, drop Robert Tonyan. I don't know if Ertz is going to produce this week, like Bogard said. First week coming over, how acclimated is it going to be? I don't know. So, I mean, I might be looking somewhere else this week, but Ertz, definitely try to pick him up and stash him somehow.
I would look for Gerald Edward. He came off of IR. A lot of people just dropped him. And Gerald Everett actually might ball. I mean, because Geno Smith is just, instead of going to Tyler Lockett, he's going to the tight ends. You know what I mean?
I got 5 tight ends on my tight end waiver wire video. Go check it out. It's like 5 minutes long, 6 minutes long. I got super short videos up on YouTube so you guys can just digest each position real quick. All right, let's see. Matt said, is Dearness Johnson worth the start? Depends how much you're deep diving. Yeah, he probably will be in your
running back to start. Yeah, he's worth starting.
Dearness Johnson, Elijah Mitchell, or J.D. McKissick. So there's his option.
McKissick's been eating the last 2 weeks. He's been eating.
I'm going McKissick.
Yeah,
McKissick's been fucking eating.
They're playing against the Packers. Should be a negative game script. He's gonna pile up a lot of receptions.
Oh, yeah. That's where I'd go. He's the safest play for sure. I mean, Dearness Johnson could boom, and I could be wrong about
Mitchell's been
Listen, Dearness Johnson is style points, but you don't get style points. It don't matter. But if you win with Dearness Johnson or you play him and he goes ham, because he is going to be one of the more fresher guys on the field because he hasn't played 5 weeks straight of football. Like this, it could happen in this system with the number 1 run blocking offensive line. It could happen. The formula's here, but it's really mad style points. Like I'd still go with the safety with J.D. McKissick.
Hell yeah,
and he has upside too, which is awesome.
Yep. And Dave, nice. Or Devin, I mean, said got some. Is it gelato or did you mean to put gelato in there? And said, and he said, hey, Bogart. What's the Niner fan? But in the next message, he put your name in there. So he said, what's Bogart think of Ayuk and Mitchell this week? Bye weeks got me.
See, here's the thing: is like the fact that your bye weeks are getting you, and you have those guys, you got to plug them in. Unless you can find something you consider a better option. I think Elijah Mitchell is the top 36 play. You know what I mean? At the position. I mean, he got a full workload. So after a bye week, I think, I mean, it's hard to predict what Shanahan's doing, but and the running backs, they aren't really faring well against Indy in general, but man, he's a guy that's going to get like 15 touches. You know what I mean? And then Ayuk is another guy. I mean, I think the game script will be negative, so it'll help both of them. Because when the game script's negative, you got to throw the ball, and they throw a ball a lot to the running back when it's Elijah Mitchell. You know what I mean?
The upside is there. There's just not too much of a floor for either one. So
nope.
That's just what it is. What it is. What it is.
But see, bye weeks, you're hella happy to have those guys. I'm like, fuck yeah. They're connected to the Niners offense. That's an offense that booms. You know what I mean? Here and there. Just hopefully it's one of them games. Hey, we're in prime time at home. Let's go.
Oh yeah, and you already know Devin. Devin said thanks, brother. All right, and Matt said there's also Rashad Penny coming back. He might start. I'm so nervous about Penny because, like, I swear every game he's came back and played, he's got hurt in. He just doesn't have a good track record of actually like playing a game and completing a game.
Yeah, and he's gonna get forced into it. So like, even if we get the one game and he gets the full workload, they're probably gonna learn the next week that okay, we got to give him 12 touches, not 7. Like, I mean, but then also, if it's Rashad Penny, maybe we expect full platoon. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't look like it's gonna be Alex Collins. I think he's river danced his way onto the bench. You know what I I mean? And
I don't know what the fuck happened there. So like, I told Hustler, I had my injury with Chubb. I had my injury with Chubb, so I ran out and I got Collins. And he did good. But then he gets injured. It's like, bro, like how is a back who doesn't play and all they got to do is stay ready?
He was one of them guys, though, too. He was one of them guys that was injury prone during his time with the Ravens, during his time with Seattle before that.
He comes in one game and he pisses me off. He already like, motherfucker.
Nathan knows what's up. He said Penny is trash. Let's back up the truck.
Yes. Hey, he's not worth the penny. But like,
there you go. He said I'd sooner start Myles Gaskin. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Penny.
If Myles Gaskin was on any other team other than the Miami Dolphins, shit.
They need to get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get him off that bum-ass team.
Every time we have TD on, right? And like TD loves the college coaches, you know what I'm saying, that come into the league. He's all about that. And what's funny is like, I always make fun of Pete Carroll because he's old and senile at this point. You know what I mean? Because he's so old and senile that he knows the winning formula is play good defense and run the ball. And he keeps trying to do that, fully knowing that he doesn't have a good defense or a decent offensive line to run said ball. You know what I mean?
Is Devin drunk? Because what the fuck does that mean?
No, this is what it means. He said the gelato is the do-si-do and gelato.
Gelato.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, is this motherfucker drunk? Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
This some do-si-do right here, actually.
You'll Hector, are you in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty soon you're gonna have the cookies out there. I know they're already talking about getting the cookies brand into some shops. So those are weed strains, is what it is.
Well, yeah. I still get my shit off brand, if you want to say. I don't go to the dispensaries.
Yeah, the underworld.
One
of these underworld, and I don't really worry about fucking names and shit anymore.
You will when you see some of this shit.
What? Yeah.
When you see some of this Cali shit, you'll start caring about
half these motherfuckers be lying about half they shit, about their names and shit. Especially, it might be a New York thing or East Coast thing. Because on the East Coast, I guarantee you, I've been up from New York, I've been up from Rhode Island all the way down to Florida. And motherfuckers just say anything.
That's just the thing. You remember like Cat Williams, right? Talking about, they always got these crazy ass names, a Cryptochronolite. Like, so
they just name anything. And I'm like, bro, if that shit don't get me high, your shit is garbage. That's what I call it, garbage.
Here's what it is, because you got your big name brands now, because there's real name brands that are like around the country, like the cookies.
It's like,
and so it's something different. You know, when you're getting it, when you're getting it from the streets, it's like, whatever they get, it's like white labeled to them. They can say whatever it is, and
real.
You really got to trust the source.
Hey, you remember?
I'm about to actually move and buy a house, so I'm actually moving more down south. So hopefully, I can fucking get something different.
Moving out to Carolina.
Yeah, bro, I got my VA loan came through. Boop, boop, boop. I'm about to buy a brand new crib in about a month, maybe a month and a half down in South Carolina.
Hey,
yeah.
You won't have any problem finding some good out there.
Oh no, I had a few connections. I mean, I lost connect after the last like 5 or 6 years. But I'll get my connects back.
It's funny because we're talking about stuff that's legal, but then like in the fashion you're talking about it makes me uncomfortable.
I know. Anyway, continuing on with hustler shit. I want to say right now, keep Herbert.
And there we go. Devin said, I'm a Hawks fan and Penny scares me. Real fragile. Like I said, he has a problem finishing a game. Not multiple games, not a multiple season, just literally one game at a time.
A game.
Marcus, what up? From Facebook said, week 7 bye problems. Week 7 is the biggest bye out of every week this year. Can you imagine, for everyone who's kind of new to fantasy football, before this year, there used to be 2 weeks that were like this every single year. Not just one, but 2.
The bye-apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes they were like back-to-back weeks, week 9, week 10, right in the middle of the season. That was bad. Bad 2 weeks in a row sometimes. Said, do I pick up Matt Ryan and pair him with Ridley or Carr and pair him with Waller? So Falcons go up against the Miami Dolphins, and then Raiders go up against the Eagles.
I think
I'm going Waller and Carr.
You know, I am gonna go Carr here.
I guess I'm be the outlier here. I'm going on the other side. I'm going Matt Ryan.
You know what? This Dolphins team coming back from London, they could be all beat up and tired. The Matt Ryan is not a bad call in general. I think I'm
an asshole because I picked up Matt Ryan because I have Justin Herbert in 2 leagues.
Hey, you know what? Fuck Derek Carr. We're going with Matt Ryan.
I have Justin Herbert in 2 leagues and he's on a fucking bye. So I went up and I got Matt Ryan. But I'm going to Justin. I'm saying Carr and Waller.
Tua's probably the most fun streaming option this week. Like fun because like he might not get the biggest game, but this is a game where he could be like, this is why I'm a first round draft pick. Because that defense sucks.
Now, when I talk about it, I'm not talking about our leagues that might be a little bit deeper, but I think the most fun streamer this week is Jameis Winston. What? He's only rostered in 35% of leagues right now. So he's going to be a real viable pickup going up against the Seahawks. Like, yeah, if he's available somehow, snatch him up.
Here's where
I've been able to. I picked up Winston and dropped him twice this year. I'm surprised people have let me do that.
Because he's not handling. He's reality right now. He's coming back to fantasy though. Because infamous Winston keeps trying to come out and play, bro. I'm telling you, once he gets to throwing them picks, you know what I'm saying? And
he only needs one. He only needs one to get the juices flowing. He can just do that on the first drive. Get it out of the way.
Right, especially when it's a pick 6. He's like, whoa, we in the hole now. You know what I mean?
And did you see the way he did it this past time? He did it like the perfect way that you could do it and like not really screw over your team. He like got to like the 40 or the 35-yard line on the other team and then threw it like an interception on like the 5-yard line, 10-yard line. It was something like that. And so unless they gave up a 90-yard return, he didn't give up a pick 6.
He was really
good. Can we like respond to John over here? I've been bugging about his response right here.
Okay.
So John, he said just traded hold on. Just traded Marquise Brown. There you go. That's what I say. Say goodbye to Hollywood. And Darrell Henderson for Ridley. Win or loss. Ridley is back at practice. Coming back this week.
Hold on. Rewind this. He said Marquise Brown and Darrell Henderson.
Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's what you do. That's a classic bogey move right there.
Yeah, I do like. See, this is why I love this move actually, because I am a guy who would try to buy Calvin Ridley cheap. That's like disguising it as cheap because here's Hollywood, who is good. Like now with the emergence of Bateman, that's gonna happen. Yeah, so sell high as fuck as you can, and look at what you get. You got Calvin Ridley and Darrell Williams. He's a waiver wire guy. Hey, throw him in. He's also just a dope fiend rental. You know what I mean? Bam, here you go. Give me Calvin Ridley, and that person's hella happy to get rid of Calvin Ridley. Meanwhile, you get Calvin Ridley coming off his bye week, so you have him barring an injury the rest of the way. That's a hell of a move.
Yeah, those are the type of moves that you got to make.
The
waiver wires, Those waiver wire guys, they're usually not going to last that long. Usually. And if we go all the way back, because I threw out a waiver wire video of like all the guys that I hit on last year. And the big hitters, the one that stayed around for the entire season, was usually the guys inside the top 4 weeks. Guys who were on like the top 4, like week 5 waivers. We're on week 7. A lot of these guys are like going to be a couple week like darlings at a time. Like Darrell Williams, soon as CEH comes back, he's not going to be that dude again. Who knows how long that's going to be? Might be 2 more weeks, might be a few longer, but he's not going to be the guy the whole season.
Could argue that like Darrell Williams plays well, pass blocks well, then like you don't even need to rush Clyde back. But I'm always on the side of, listen, give me Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Give me Ridley, bro. He's a number 1 on offense.
And there you go, Eric from Facebook. He said Felton may get the most running back touches on Thursday. He might. We already talked about them being in, potential negative game script and him getting a bunch of catches. Yeah,
and like there's things like you don't even necessarily have to be in a negative game script. At times, it could just be in hurry up. Like, okay, we have, it could be a tie game and you have the ball and you have 30 seconds left to get down the field and you're like, all right, fuck it, where's the pass catcher running back? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then he piles up like 3-4 cheap receptions like right there. You know what I mean? Like in that one drive. Like,
yep. And then Nathan said, is Xavier Howard still out? We haven't heard any news about them yet, but he was out this past week. I believe he's missed 2 weeks in a row now, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't even travel with the team to London, so we shall see. But I think his injury is pretty serious. I don't know why they didn't throw him on IR.
I hope he doesn't play because then Calvin Ridley is going to be like a top 5 producer this week.
I think Calvin Ridley can even handle. I mean, no way Xavier Howard gets back to 100% this week. Whatever his issue is, he's been playing through it for a few weeks and he keeps making it worse.
I'm going Mac Jones and Gasset.
So Frank, he said Wentz, Big Frank, what up, bro? Said Wentz, Tua, Mac Jones, and then Bateman, Hilton, Gesicki, Miles Sanders. Pick one of each. I'm going Mac Jones also. I like Mac Jones slightly over the other two here. Going up against the Jets.
Yeah, I just feel like they. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Mac Jones too. Because I like Wentz against my Niners, bro. My Niners secondary is ass. You know what comes out of ass? Poop.
If T.Y. Hilton's not playing, and right now it's kind of looking like, it's a 50-50 shot as of right now. So
I'm taking Mac Jones. Mac Jones, because Tua is a bust. Wentz is the second okayest quarterback behind Jared Goff. So I'm taking Mac fucking Jones, mac and cheese. And then Bateman, I have him on my fantasy league. And if it wasn't for his groin injury, I would want him to be better than what he needs. Some more time. He needs reps. He needs game time. Hilton is hurt, so I'm not trying to test him out. But Gesicki and Sanders are the only two I'm going for. But Gesicki is getting fucking. He's eating too. He's eating.
Hey, what? Can you look up Bateman snaps? I'm curious to see what his snaps were week 1 or week 1.
We saw Bateman. He was hurt until last week.
No. He meant week 1 for him.
Yeah.
65% of the snaps.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot coming out.
So they did it right. They waited 5 weeks for that kid. You know what I'm saying? So
But I don't want to go off the rip on this first week. Keep him.
Well, here's why I want to go off on him. Here's why. He led the team in targets with 6.
And he had 4 receptions.
You know how many snaps Marquise Brown played?
70?
6 more snaps than him. 74%.
Okay.
6 more snaps. He played more than Devin Duvernay. He played more than Prochet. Who's the other one? Played more than Boykin.
Howard is also there. Hollywood Brown is also their number 1, so he's gonna get the best defenders fucking lock him down.
He's not a number 1.
And I think the snap count. I mean, showing that they got almost equal snaps. They're going to be running a lot more 2 wide receiver sets than they ever have. They usually just run 1 wide receiver out there on a lot of their snaps because they really. I mean, Sammy Watkins and Marquise Brown. I mean, they would do it a bunch, but it was like I don't know. Sammy wasn't getting a good snap share for. I mean,
Sammy was
at first he was getting 80 and 90 in the first 2 weeks, but then it dropped down 79, 73, and then he went out. In week 5, didn't play in week 6, but he was like on the decline even before Bateman came back. That's what I mean by his snap counts.
Oh yeah.
Marquise Brown was the exact opposite. He started playing in place of Sammy a bunch.
Yeah, because he's what they want him to be is that field stretcher, and he be killing it with that cross route. You know what I mean? So it's
he'd be killing it, except when he drops it like he did last game, in the perfect play schemed up for him.
You mean like he's done a gang of times? You know what I mean? So listen. I like Bateman now. Knowing that's some clarity right there. 65%. I know that goes up week 2. That's going up a lot too. I bet you he's playing like 80%.
I'm gonna still go Gesicki with this one because Gesicki's been that dude. But Bateman, oh man, like I'm excited for him.
I'm waiting. Like I said, I'm not shitting on Bateman. I'm not shitting on him. I'm waiting on him. I've been sitting on him. He's been literally sitting on my bench, waiting for him to like show me what I really want to see. But Gesicki's the way to go, and I agree with Hustler. Gesicki, he's been eating.
Bateman's gonna be the exact guy that we wanted him to be in this offense. It's gonna happen.
I'm hella mad, bro, because I played Knox over Gesicki and I lost it because of it.
Damn. I mean, I would have made that move too. Knox has been that dude.
He was just on fire. But here's the thing: is like I have Gesicki. Anywhere else I have Gesicki, I don't even worry about a second tight end. I just start. Because I couldn't get a second tight end, right? So maybe I'm just forced to play him, but I'm hella happy playing him every week. And then this week I'm just like, yo, I'm playing Knox, bro. I ain't even playing.
Yeah.
Had him in there since like 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Just don't take that guy out until he takes himself out the game.
All right. We got a couple more questions and we're going to get up out of here. So from Streak, I have Kyler, D-Hop. Should I be trading? Should I trade them? D-Hop looking iffy and I don't know what to do. Full PPR. Let me
keep
see.
Kyler. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like you got to keep both. I don't know.
I would too. I said, if anything, if you're choosing one, I'm keeping Kyler.
I couldn't even read the question. Didn't even make sense. Like, should I be trading them? Like, no, you shouldn't.
Losing.
Exactly.
Maybe he's losing, and these are some of his big assets.
Exactly. Yeah, he might be 1-5, and his best assets are D-Hop and Kyler. Yeah, I'm just saying. And you can get more value for Kyler right now. I would say keep him though, because that's your QB1. D-Hop, I don't know what the rest of your lineup's looking like.
I think I would do the opposite in if it's a 1 QB league, depending on how deep it is. Yeah, if you can get more value out of Kyler, if the person really needs a QB, and you can get a couple. I mean, you should be able to get a QB off of waivers that could be sustainable for you if you're getting some skill positions.
In a single QB, I'm moving the QB because there's hella QBs out there. I'll stream it.
There should be.
And somebody.
Oh, and he said I'm 4-2, so looking good now.
Oh,
no,
man,
don't trade him. Don't trade him.
4-2. He's looking good. Yeah, I mean, who's your backup QB as well? Like, if you're willing to trade Kyler, and if you don't have a backup QB, then I would expect that you're looking to get a QB plus more.
Just remember this: at 4-2, if people are hitting you up about trades and your record is better, just remember you need to be walking into those trade negotiations with your chest puffed out. Say it with the chest. Because, you shouldn't be in a position of desperation when you're looking to trade.
If I'm 4-2 with Kyler Murray and D-Hop, trust to believe that I'm asking for the fucking workload.
Stress.
John said traded Robert Woods for Godwin. Thoughts? I hate making trades like that. Wide receiver for wide receiver.
I would have kept Woods. Woods is a 1B.
I would have kept Woods.
Godwin, everybody, there's a 1A, 1B, 1C over there. And Chris Godwin's not the 1A. That's Antonio.
No. Antonio Brown's the 1A. Godwin's like the 1-3, the 1C.
Woods is again. He didn't get all the receptions like last week, but now he got a touchdown.
Maybe some of these weeks Robert Woods scores a couple more points. Maybe some of these other weeks Chris Godwin scores a couple other points. I think the way that if you want to make a trade like this, it's only if you want to cheer for the guy who you're bringing back, because the way that this trade is skewed one way or the other is going to be based on injury. It always is. And if they both stay healthy, they're both going to, it's going to be like this for you, like all year. They're going to be doing, just like that.
I just go as simple as like I had Robert Woods 14 overall. So I had him as a high-end WR2 coming into the year, right? It was funny because I was bigger on him than Cup. I had Cup at 17, right? So they're in the same ballpark, but I had Chris Godwin behind all of them. You know what I mean?
And he has Tom Brady to stack. He's chilling.
Yeah, so I probably wanted to cheer for Godwin. Good trade then, because you get to cheer for the guy that you want. That's what I say.
And I like a stack too, but I also like diversity. So I guess it's it just depends on the flavor.
Ooh. Nathan, he said corduroy, pimping Patterson looking like a league winner, especially when he's coming through stunt like this, rocking his corduroy at the beach. You already know.
Hell yeah.
Because they're finally using him the way that he should have been used since 2013 when I fell for it, or 2012. Whatever it was, I fell for it the very first year at the Vikings.
Listen, you were right. It was just, you called it. Just, just leave it like that. Yeah. Years later, but we still called it.
I was on it. I mean, I was just, like a lot of other things in life, I was just ahead of my time.
You know what, bro? About corduroy is like I'm curious to see if he actually gets like 65% of the snap count with Calvin Ridley there, because before that he was getting 23%. You know what I mean? And then he going to the London. There's no Calvin Ridley, so he's playing like I don't remember exactly how much, but watching the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's just super efficient, is what it is. So here's his snap counts from week 1 all the way to week 5: 33%, 33%, 42%, 30%, 59%.
Okay, so I had it wrong. It was 30% was his average. Okay, and then what did he play that last game in London?
59%. So got double the workload.
So if we could just have that, then
he's getting on the field for 23 to 26 plays a game. If he gets the ball 25% of the time, which it seems like when he's out there, he's getting the ball, that's going to be a good game. Like nobody else gets the ball 25% of the time that they're on the field except for running backs. Like that's the kind of efficiency that he's really putting up. It's like unheard of efficiency right now.
All right, guys, I have a quick emergency. My sister just showed up.
Okay.
I'm going to have to bail out.
Sounds good. We're getting out of here anyways. So appreciate you guys hanging out. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, Fantasy Football Hustler. If you're watching somewhere on Facebook, hop over, subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to the GMM network on YouTube. That's Bogard's channel. Yeah, show us all some love. We got a bunch of videos coming out over the next couple days, and we got live streams starting tomorrow for questions and answers. So make sure you guys tap in. Hector, tell them where to find you real quick, and then we're all out of here.
You already guys know, breaking down the tape, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, fucking whatever you can find us on, Spotify. We're on every Apple, fucking whatever you got. You can find us, breaking down the tape. I'm Hector. I said what I said. You can find me on Hector. I said what I said on Instagram, Facebook, Hector Santana. And shit, if you want to face me in something, take the L.
Yeah, I can't follow that.
So we're out. Peace out, everybody.